Yo guys, what's going on? This is Yoki Man here and welcome back to another episode of Bringing Back Bolton. It's been another 3 months. We've had a pretty decent 3 months. There's been some standout performers as per usual. Hopefully we are in the right direction to still be in the job. I mean, does that give away a little bit too much? I'm just hoping we're still going to stay in the job. We're going to go through the fixtures. We're going to go through some transfers because it has been January, but do not expect any transfers to have been made by me because we're Bolton. We have £32 million worth of debt still to pay off. So no, there'll be no transfers for us. But we will go through, see how the team's been looking, how we've been getting on, some of the results, and just some of the improvements as players are improving as we move on through the seasons. Also, there's been another standout star this season, and he's just been continuously amazing for us. And it probably is the reason that we're doing as well as we are. Right, guys, so we will start with the transfers, and as you can see here, we brought in 2 frees, Benjamin Heel and Romain Mundle. You don't need to see them. They're probably never going to play for us. I just brought them in. At the minute, I'm just taking punts on players and seeing if we can eventually sell them on for a little bit of cash. I've tried in this window to sell on 2 or 3 players, but we're probably not in a position yet, and they're probably not wanted enough yet to move them on. So you've got to remember there's a good 12 to 15 players at the club that are brand new to the club and haven't really had the opportunity to have enough game time, let alone just be here long enough to actually move on, I don't think. So the transfers actually pretty much stay exactly as they were. Just a couple of free transfers in. This update is going to be an interesting one because actually masses hasn't happened. Apart from the 3 months that we've played games, there hasn't actually been a ton of overhaul. We haven't changed any tactics. We've gone with the same 2 tactics. One predominantly, which maybe we'll look at a little bit more in this episode because I haven't really showcased my own tactic yet. I know, why haven't I showcased my own tactic? But yeah, there isn't actually masses to go through. We will go through now the fixtures, but let's take a cheeky look at the finances and just see really how we built all that money up. Just see how much of an impact it's had just playing another 3 months, just how it just keeps getting knocked down and knocked down and knocked down. They've decreased transfer revenue again, which is fine. The transfer revenue for me right now means absolutely nothing. Even if we have money in the bank, I'm very, very reluctant to spend it. In fact, the chance of me spending it is very slim. The whole mindset is let's just make some money as quick as possible. The pyramid schemes would be helpful right now. Get rich quick stuff. Maybe we should start selling like juice fast diets or something because we need to make some money as quick as possible because as you can see, we've depleted from roughly around 10 million if my memory serves me right, which it doesn't normally. It could be more like the 8 or 7 million mark, but we're already down to under 3 million and we still got another 3 months to play and another half of the season to do really because you've got pre-season and whatnot. So yeah, we're hitting this stage already again where we need to probably sell another £10 million worth of talent, and that's just so nerve-wracking that's the mindset I'm in. Yeah, it's looking like, because I knew last year before we came into this pre-season we had £10 million worth of talent to sell. And now in this season, although when we look at it, we're actually having a very good time, I don't think we've got £10 million worth of talent. A lot of that relied on Ronan Darcy. We don't have another Ronan Darcy in the squad. We just don't have a player. Probably our best players in the squad are loan players, so there's no sale value there. And that's worrying me a little bit because there are some good players in the team. Don't get me wrong, Josh Emmanuel, some players like that. But none of them are close to the fee that we got for Darcy. What can I hope that Championship football might bring some more money, but £57,000 a week in the Championship, I think is very low. So I could be completely wrong. I just think it's going to be an issue for us. If we look at debt and loans, it's now down to 28.5. So we are getting to a stage where we're slowly coming out of it, I suppose you could say. We pay 500k per month. Maybe we're slowly just easing out of it. A takeover would be helpful. It'd be nice, but it's making money now on sales. I think we knew that all along, but I'm getting worried now. I'm looking at the squad all season long, and although we're having a good season, don't get me wrong, nothing's done and dusted yet. Although we're having a good season, I'm majorly worried that there isn't the kind of players there. There is a lot. I built a really big squad of people. We're not playing a lot of money and just have a massive squad of young players. Basically, that's the mindset. Just fill the squad with youth. But they've not been great. Some of the young players haven't been fantastic. And then the ones that have been fantastic, I feel like we can't stand to lose. So It's going to be rough. The championship's going to be rough. I'm preparing myself for the worst. Right, guys, so it has been another 3 months, and we started that 3 months against Cambridge, who we beat 2-0 in the FA Cup, which was pretty decent because we needed a miniature FA Cup run. We lost to Shrewsbury 3-2 in the Leasing.com trophy, a trophy I really do not bother. I'm not bothered about at all. We played youngsters. We stuck with a 4-4-2 for a lot of it, and then we stuck with my formation for some of it. We flipped between the two all season and had success. We lost 1-0 to Rotherham, who were actually a very good challenger in the league this season, so we need to keep an eye on them. We beat Bradford 1-0, which was a good result. Ryan Edmondson, as you can see there. Carlisle 2-0, Ryan Edmondson again. But Finley, Hereford, Lockett getting a goal's decent because he's a young prospect. He's a very young prospect that actually isn't amazing, but 18-year-old, he's fairly determined, so he should reach the upper ends of his potential because he's a fairly determined player. He looks okay. If anything, he's probably going to be someone we sell on. I'm looking at most players now as like they're a piece of me. I'm going to sell you on, but this is probably the scenario with this guy. He's probably never going to be good enough to be a first-team player, especially not in the Championship, but he might be someone we could get a little bit of money for if he reaches a little bit more of his potential. I think he needs to improve a bit more, but as an out-and-out winger, he's pretty decent, so hopefully he will sell on for money and we don't lose out on him. But his wages starting to rise as these players are getting older, their wages are getting higher, so maybe in the summer we might sell him. If we could get anywhere like 200k, I'd probably be happy with getting that for this kind of player. After that, we finally got ourselves knocked out of the Leasing.com trophy. We have already won it, and I've just got no interest in it again. It went to penalties, and they took forever. But we did get knocked out by Macclesfield. We drew 1-1 with MK Dons. J. Neil Bennett is what we're going to call him. He's actually pretty decent. He's a player we brought in on a free. He's someone who I think we can make a bit of money off as well. Again, he's another one of those players that's probably not good enough. He's spent most of his time coming off the bench. In fact, 23 times he's come off the bench. But he's someone who I want to get in the spotlight a little bit because we want to make some money off him. Went on to beat Salford 3-0 in a very good result. Edmondson, Brecalo getting a goal, and Delaney, a couple of defensive goals there. Doncaster game was 1-1, as per usual. A very frustrating 92nd minute goal for Doncaster. We beat Accrington 2-1, which was a difficult game, to be honest. They played really well, but we managed to get ourselves 2 up. But it was very nervy after they scored their goal. We lost to Cheltenham in the FA Cup third round. A little bit frustrating because Cheltenham is probably a team we could have beaten, and I would have liked to have got a big team maybe in the fourth round, but it's just the way it goes. I had to rotate the team a little bit because of fitness. We then beat Crawley 3-1. We've gone on a little bit of a run now. We beat Crawley 3-1, Rochdale 2-1. Burton was 0-0, which was frustrating because we was absolutely dominant. And then most recently, we beat Fleetwood 4-1. Ryan Edmondson with a double. Jordan Boone, who is another one of those players that's really progressed that I really don't want to lose. And Timmy Abraham, Jordan Boone making his stay at central defence this season, and it's been fantastic. Bringing Brecalo in, although we're paying some wages per week, was a fantastic decision because it freed up the ability for Boone to play centre-back, and I think that's one of the keys to how we've done so well this season. Let's take a look at the squad. Right, so we're looking at the squad, guys, and my instant reaction was let's sort it by value, because then we can kind of get a grasp on who's going to be worth some money and who's not going to be worth some money. And when we sort it by value, you can see the first 3 players on the list are all loan. They're all loan players. It's devastating, but they're all loan players. And this is the scenario we're in, and this is the scenario we're going to continue to be in. Now, Josh Emmanuel is a brilliant player. I need to keep him here for as long as possible. He's only got another year on his contract. It's an issue for me. Now, I am going to try and re-sign him to a new contract now. In fact, let's offer him in one now live and see what happens. But if he doesn't sign a new contract, which he won't, we're in a real sticky situation because it's the last season we're going to make money on him, and I probably only will get 1.2 for him. But again, do I think we can traverse the Championship without him? No. Do I have a choice in this fact? No, probably not. And I'm really praying that they don't want anything more than get relegated again in the Championship next season, because this is a League One squad. This is not a Championship squad. It's a League One squad with some Championship players on loan. That's just the be-all and end-all of our situation. That is what we're stuck in. And that is not going to change anytime soon. And selling all our best players is just... I don't know. Do we just make the mindful idea that we're going to keep these guys? We're going to keep these guys that have only got an extra year. I mean, let's see if we can re-sign Sonny Graham. Right, so Sonny Graham's willing to talk to us. Let's negotiate. I just can't offer him a wild contract. Let's say 3K. I mean, the yearly wage rises have to go, so we're probably going to upset him here, but we probably need to keep Sonny around. He's solid in central midfield. Let's see 3.3. So we've managed to keep Sonny Graham, but these contracts are going to run up. They're going to run up. They're going to cause us a problem. Jordan Boone, another one. I really can't afford to let this guy go. I need him. He's the spine of my centre-backs this season. Jordan Boone has been fantastic and also been covered to Brecalo and needed. So let's offer him a new contract. Let's see what we can do. But again, I'm going to be overpaying. We're overpaying this right now on the mindset that we're going to get promoted because I'm going to really screw the bankroll right now. I'm going to really screw the pooch and we're going to screw ourselves over a little bit. But I don't have a choice. I need to make these decisions. Now, Politic, we was mindful when we re-signed him. We signed him for a little bit longer. So we got a little bit lucky on the Politic one. And there's a few players I'm not sure yet. Maybe if we could move on, Ryan Delaney. Connor Matterson is, for me, he's out of it. I want to try and sell him. I want to make some money for it. So there's a lot of players here that I probably are going to be out of contract that we're going to try and make some cash on. And then there's a lot of players here that just haven't improved enough. And they're young players and we're probably just going to have to sell them. Because they've just not improved enough. Now, Jay Fitzman might improve enough, but Connor Stanley, he's not gonna. He's played a bit this season, and when he has played, he's played okay. He's been a bit part player. He's been okay. But with the contract he's on, he's just not worth having around. He's nearly on 1,000. And if we could get anywhere near the 89, we're going to sell him. Luke Murphy is probably someone I'm going to look to re-sign again at the end of the season, hopefully for a reduced price. But there's other players like Eddie Brown we're going to look to move on, and so on and so forth. There are some great young players still in here. But, you know, I mean, Dennis is looking like he could be good in the future, but he's not good enough now. But is he going to have to play every single game if Josh Emmanuel's gone? I've given him more game time this season because he's 20 and he's looking to start to progress, which is fantastic, is what we want. And there's no way I drive the price up without paying him. But it's difficult to get him games because Josh Emmanuel, how do you pick him ahead of Josh Emmanuel? He just is miles and far above the best player in this team, and he's just absolutely fantastic. He's the best player we own in this team, I should say. I would say the best player in this team is Ryan Edmondson, who... Are we going to be that lucky that we can loan these players back again? Now, Seth Vandenberg's been okay. I've not used him as much as I would like to, simply because I'm trying to get Jordan Boone playing as many games as possible and Adam Senior as many games as possible. Because, believe it or not, I need Adam Senior to become good or to be in the shop window to make some money off of him. Because we're paying him a lot of money. Sonny Graham's a player who's actually stood out a little bit this season. He's been fairly good, but again, he's probably not good enough. Now, when we're looking at the potential ratings, they reflect on the team that we've got. And if we're looking at them reflecting on the team we've got, is it a scenario that we actually don't have that good of a team, and that's why the potential star ratings are so high, but the players actually aren't that good because our team just quite simply isn't that good. Right, guys, so on to the tactic we've been playing. Now, this is a tactic that I created a little bit ago. It's custom control possession. It's the one we created towards the end of last season, which set us on a really good run, which I just brought back again this season. I thought we need another one. We need a third tactic, one that utilises these roles, because we kind of had the players to play this formation. That's why I picked it last season, and I didn't see any reason not to bring it back this season, but it's actually ended up being really good for the team, especially Ryan Edmondson. I think if you've got a good pressing forward, you're in for a good shout, and a good wing back on attack like Josh Emmanuel at this level. Let's remember what level we're at. But this level, we're just having a brilliant time. Now, for me, the problem is with the 4-4-2, we don't really have the best of wingers. We don't. That's not Politik's best position. And when you look at the wingers, they're all young. None of them are really above 2-star, maybe 2.5-star. And none of them are really that effective and that good. Whereas when we play this formation, it utilises Abraham as well, who plays a bit further forward, who is having a very good season as well. If we look at Timmy Abraham, I'm actually really happy to have him. Look at his attributes and you think, he's not that good. At this level, he's an absolute physical monster. He's extremely quick. He's got great fitness, great acceleration, and I think it compensates for the fact that he's not very technically good. He's not a very technical player. He's probably never going to play maybe higher than Championship. We might get some use out of him in the Championship if I can reload him again. But he's never going to play higher than that. He's probably never going to be a striker because I think he lacks the technique to be a striker, to be honest with you. So as a right winger, although you look at him and you think he can't cross, but he's just so effective because of how physical he is. He causes the opposition so many issues. He pulls their defense all over the place. Their defense can't deal with him when he's on the ball. And for some strange reason, he's just very good. He's scored 12 goals with 4 assists this season. 4 assists doesn't surprise me. He can't cross, but he just seems to get the job done, and I'm really happy with him. 6.99 is what it is, but I'm very, very happy with him. I think he's just been fantastic, but I genuinely do think it's his physicals that carry him. But we can't have an episode without talking about the main man himself, Mr. Ryan Edmondson. Now, I've dropped his name several times in this episode. He's recovering, not from a big injury, just from a bit of flu. He's valued at 1.8 million, and I'm hoping Leeds either retain him, re-sign him so we can loan him back again, or they let him go and he'll sign a contract for us. The problem is with Ryan Edmondson is he rarely put himself in the shop window. He's the sort of player that we'd have to pay big wages maybe for one season and then make an absolute killing off, or he would carry us to success. Without Ryan Edmondson, this team does not get promoted this season. Without him, we do not get promoted. He is the be-all and end-all of our team and our goals. He has scored 20 goals, he's got 5 assists, he's been man of the match 7 times, his average rating is 7.29, the best in the team. We do not get promotion without Ryan Edmondson. This series isn't anywhere near as successful, I nearly said successful as it has been without Ryan Edmondson. This man is he's the messiah of Bolton. He's single-handedly, he's got a few friends that are helping him, but he's near enough single-handedly saving Bolton with the way he's playing. His goals, a lot of his goals he scores as pressing forward from just nicking the ball off the defender, just simply being a better striker at this level and defenders not being able to deal with him. He just nicks the ball off them, plonks it in the back of the net with absolute ease, and we scored a goal. He's just been a saviour. He really has been a godsend. I can't say it enough. Ryan Edmondson. If you haven't used him, use him at League One level, because and I think he'll do it at Championship for us as well, but at this level he has been superb. But we're single-handedly improving him, like, year in, year out. We're making him a much better player than I imagine he would have turned out to be if he didn't play for our team, but honestly, I haven't got enough good things to say about it. Sorry, I've got too many good things to say about him. Not enough. I've got too many. He's just honestly superb, and I'm just happy to have him, and I really pray that we can have him again next season. So guys, as I've been saying for pretty much the entire episode, I've been sounding like things are going well, and things are going well. After 33 games, Bolton sit top of the table. They are neck and neck top of the table with Blackpool, however, and we have Rotherham chasing a very, very hard right behind us. But if we can keep some kind of consistent form like we have, and if we can play like Bolton usually do at the back end of the season, which is absolutely fantastic, most back end of the seasons, I think last year we lost once. The season before that, we didn't lose at all in the final stretch, the last 3 months. If we can do that again this time, we will be promoted, we'll be a Championship club, and we will keep our job at Bolton, and we may just please the board just a little bit, to the point where maybe they like me just a slight bit, but it's still going to be a struggle when we get promoted. All we can hope for is better crowds upon promotion, which I think we should get, and also better commercial, just all the commercial summary stuff, just better for being in the Championship. That may stem the flow, of this insane debt that we have. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Bringing Back Bolton. I know this one has taken a little while, and I know people have been asking about it. I do apologise. My problem is, at the moment, is there's been a little bit of a transition between me actually not really potentially having a job anymore, and this kind of now becoming my job, and me streaming a lot and then trying to focus on different areas. But I've told you time and time again, these saves go nowhere. I'm not going to just all of a sudden stop doing YouTube. They're always going to come back. There may be spurts where I don't get as many episodes out as I would like to a week, but these will be consistent. If you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate it. Go and check me out on Twitch. I'll leave the link down below. We have some good fun over there in the streams. We're doing a journeyman. I'm currently at Preston, just promoted to the Premiership. But anyway, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure bringing you another episode of Bringing Back Bolton. I can't wait for the end of the season. I'm praying that it's a good end of the season. I'm coming back with a screen that says Bolton promoted, but that might not be the case. But anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.